Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to learn how to add fractions with unlike denominators. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the lowest common denominator, the LCD, and solve addition fractional problems with unlike denominators.
Hello class! Today we're going to learn our multiplication tables.
That's boring!
Well, wait until you hear this. You've never heard the tables like this before.
Two ones are
What does the word numerator means? What does the word denominator means? What does the word multiple means? Well, if you had difficulty answering those questions, we are going to explore those three words. Can you identify the numbers that make up a fraction? The top number is the numerator, and the bottom number is the denominator. Did you enjoy singing your multiplication tables at the beginning of this lesson? Well, a multiple is the product or answer of a multiplication problem. For example, 3 times 2 is equal to 6. The multiple is 6. Now, can you tell me what is the meaning of numerator, denominator, multiple? Before continuing, press pause so that you can get a pencil and a piece of paper. In the previous lesson, you learned how to add and subtract fractions with like denominators. Let's see what you remembered from those lessons. Solve the problem 2/6 plus 3/6. Because our denominators are alike, we are just going to carry the 6 across the equal sign. Then we are going to add our numerators. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So our answer is 5/6. Did you solve your problem the same way? Very good then. Press pause again and solve these two fractional problems with like denominators. Did you get 9/10 for your first answer? Very good. How about 5/8 for your second answer? Again, very good. Now that you have mastered fractions with like denominators, we are now going to learn how to solve fractions with unlike denominators. Are you ready to get started? Example number 1. 1/2 plus 2/3. Now pay attention as we work this problem through. As you can see, the denominators are unlike. They are not the same. Do you have any idea on what we are going to do to make them the same? To make the denominators the same, we have to find the LCD, the lowest common denominator. Do you know how to find the lowest common denominator? To help me find the lowest common denominator, I have created a table to the side. I have the denominator 2 at the top of my first column and the denominator 3 at the top of my second column. Earlier in the lesson, we went over our vocabulary words and one was multiples. Remember, multiple means the product or the answer to a multiplication problem. So we are going to go through our 2 times table and find the multiples for 2. Here are my multiples for 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Now I'm going to find the multiples for 3. Here are my multiples for 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. Take some time. Look at the multiples for 2 and the multiples for 3. Are there any multiples that are common in the 2 column and in the 3 column? Did you say 6 and 12? Well, that is correct. There are 2 sets of multiples that are common. Now, we are looking for the lowest common denominator. So which one would be the lowest? 6 or 12? Yes, 6 is the lowest common denominator. So we are now going to change our denominators to 6. Do you know how we are going to change the denominator 2 and 3 to 6? Let's find out. Whilst getting your multiples, what did you multiply to 2 to get 6? 3. That is correct. Now, in order to change our denominator to equals to 6, we are going to multiply 2 times 3, and then we are going to do the same thing to the numerator 1. Time to change our next fraction. What do you think we are going to multiply to the numerator and denominator of our next fraction? Did you say 2? That is correct. When you wrote the multiples for 3, you said 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So we are going to multiply the denominator by 2. Remember, whatever you do at the bottom of the fraction, you must do to the top of the fraction. So we are also going to multiply the numerator by 2. Let's multiply our fractions out. 1 times 3 equals 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 times 2 equals 6. Very good. Do you need my help from this point on? No, you don't, because you have already mastered solving fractions with like denominators. So go ahead and solve your fraction, and then let's check to see what your answer is. Did you get 7/6? That is correct. Very good. Now that we are done with example number 1, we will continue with example number 2. Here, you will be asked to do everything before I say anything. Write this fraction on your piece of paper. Make sure to leave space for your working. Draw your LCD table to the side. What are you going to label the columns? 4 and 12. That is correct. You now have your table and it is labeled. What are you going to do next? Find the multiples for 4 and 12? Yes. You can either find 5 for each run or go until you find the lowest common multiple or denominator. Do our multiples match? If not, go back and check your multiples. So you should have 4, 8, 12 for the multiples for 4 and 12, 24, 36 for the multiples for 12. Circle your lowest common multiple. Did you circle 12 as your lowest common denominator? That is correct. Based on your LCD table, go ahead and write in, smaller than the numbers that you already have, what you will multiply to your first fraction, 2 over 12. Did you write times 1 for 12 and times 1 for 2? That is correct. Go ahead and do the same thing for your next fraction, 2 over 4. Are you multiplying by 3? That is correct. 4 times 3 and 2 times 3. You have done such a wonderful job working thus far. Now, multiply your fractions out. 2 times 1 equals 12 times 1 equals 2 times 3 equals 4 times 3 equals. Solve the fraction 212 plus 612. Did you get 812? Very, very, very good. It's now time for you to practice on your own. Remember, practice makes perfect. We will check the answers to the problems that you solved today, tomorrow before we begin our lesson. Boys and girls, you have done an excellent job today. See you tomorrow when we will learn how to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. Bye.